Hello YouTube and welcome back to Fire Gaming Project. So today's video is actually going to be a little bit different than the previous videos. It's not going to be specifically talking about Genshin Impact, although it is in the background here and it will be mentioned in this video as well. So today's video, as you may see from the header, it's actually my birthday, my real life birthday, and actually there's only a few minutes left. It's basically around 11:55 p.m. my time zone. I'm actually in the final time zone on Earth, Pacific, I think. And therefore, yeah, in a few minutes, it'll be past my birthday. But I just want to throw this video out there, more or less, kind of like to just maybe um, share a little bit more about myself in case anyone wants to connect with that, maybe, or whatnot. So yeah, so my channel is called Fire Gaming Project. I mentioned this in my other videos as well, and also in my 100th video. That FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early, and it's a great movement for younger people to basically figure out a way to save, invest, manage their own personal finances, and to basically retire early or have the option to at least. You don't have to do it, and it's not recommended for everyone to do this. Just so we're clear, but for those of you who are interested, that's what it is about. And definitely, I've heard both sides of it. Some people are against it, some people are obviously supportive of it. I'm definitely supportive of it. So all I can say is that's basically what it is. So basically, I will just kind of throw it out there in a very summary kind of way. It involves obviously investments, stocks or real estate. It involves obviously working a lot originally and saving your money and being frugal and being purposeful, right? And that's fine. I'm not trying to be preachy here, but it just for some people it'll work out and some people it may not work out, and that's okay. And some people will plan to do it eventually and some people may not, and that's okay too. There's no right or wrong. So anyway, yeah, I just want to share where that comes from. So, because some people do ask me why is it called Fire Gaming Project? So literally, it's called Fire Gaming Project because, as someone who is in the fire movement, I was lucky enough and grateful enough that I did not have to work full-time work anymore for the last few years. Also, the pandemic hit, so it actually worked out because I stopped full-time work before the pandemic, at the time of this publishing of this video, and it's called Gaming Project because obviously I'm playing games, and it's a project for me, so that's where the name comes from. So that probably, hopefully, that elaborates a little bit more. Other questions that I got was that some people thought I was in my teens. I'm not. I am in my 30s. Yes, today's my birthday, and I'm still in my 30s. I won't say the actual number. Um, yeah, and then why is it that I'm doing about games, or why do I want to do YouTube and Twitch? Really, if you were someone who is able to retire, or someone who just has more time, or just wants to do more things outside of anything work related, then I think YouTube or Twitch or any other social media platform is definitely something that you can consider investing some time into developing. And so this is something I'm already very late to the game already. So I only started this channel in earlier this year, and I have been doing other things as well on other social media as well, but not like so actively. So YouTube and Twitch are my most active social media things now. And I'm very grateful for all of you guys who have subscribed and for those of you who like my videos and have commented and interacted with me about the game. Yeah, and then so I just chose Genshin Impact because I love this game. Been playing it since end of 1.0, beginning of 1.1 till now. Still love the game. However, I have started to taper off on playing as much daily and on doing as much. However, I like to share my experiences and my theories and my gameplay as well. Now, I'm not a mega whale. I don't plan to, C6 any R 5-star characters, and I don't plan to R5 any 5-star weapons. However, if those happen because of losing the 50-50 or getting enough standard banner pulls, etc., then it happens, right? But it's not my intention to do any of that. Um, and then also like you're probably thinking like, well, why would someone who is on fire want to like spend money in the game? Well, technically fire means that yes, you have to save money and be frugal and be purposeful with your income, but it does not mean that you have to give up spending. Let's say you can, as long as your spending is still within your plan, then it's okay. And I guess due to the pandemic and also because of being you can say retired, um, then you would actually reduce your costs a lot actually. So it is still sustainable for me if I was to spend on this game. But of course, when I do spend on this game, it is purposeful, and it also is for my personal enjoyment too, right? So yeah, why Genshin Impact? Aside from how beautiful and how nice the music is, and the characters and everything like that, and the storyline, it's just a really obviously it's a popular game, and to be very honest with you, as a strategy, um, it goes both ways. For YouTube and for Twitch, if anyone out there is starting out or wanting to start, you'd want to pick something that's relatively popular because then the likelihood of people finding it is higher, right? However, there's also the fact that if it is popular, therefore it could be more saturated and your competition is much higher as well. So I get that too. So it's a two-way, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, but regardless, at least it's something that I am interested in and I do enjoy playing daily. I don't play as much as I used to. In a way, I do regret not starting this YouTube channel sooner. I wish that I started it last year, actually, to be very honest. I didn't think about it until this year. I wish I had started it earlier because then you would have seen my journey, building up my characters and building up my adventure rank and going through the storyline, etc. So it's never too late to start YouTube, obviously. Definitely there's way more bigger channels out there already. So again, I do appreciate those of you who do subscribe and follow me and interact with me. Yeah, so I just wanted to, in a way, just give more information about that. So maybe more about like what fire entails then. So it entails that I'll just say it in a very, you're gonna think it sounds cliche, but you're gonna have to invest in yourself. And I don't know if any other fire people talk about this more, but they talk about like the technical things, like what you need to do and all that stuff. Yes, that's important. Like you need to figure out your fire number, which is your number that you need in order to retire, like your actual like, income, like or your total like money goal to hit, let's say, you know. And what's a fire number? Fire number is basically your annual total expenses times 25 as a baseline, or higher if you want to be more comfortable with your retirement. And then there are subcategories of fire there, and I won't go into too much detail because I don't want to like bore you to death. But yeah, or unless you guys are interested, then feel free to leave comments or questions. But like there are different categories of fire. You can Google it. I didn't make this up, right? So there's something called lean fire, which is the number that you would use times 25. There is fat fire, which you would times a higher number because then you would include more luxurious spending, let's say. And then there's the standard, right? So there's like something in the middle. So you just have to figure out what kind of lifestyle you want when you are retired. Now, when I say retired, I don't mean, and this sounds really, some people think of it in a negative way. So I want to kind of debunk that. Just because you retire from full-time employment does not mean that you cannot continue working in full-time employment. Does not mean that you can't work in part-time employment. Does not mean that you can't continue doing projects that are for pay or like develop a business or something, you know? So it doesn't mean that you actually literally like retire and stop doing anything and just waiting to die, right? So yeah, so hence that's basically more or less kind of my story. Like I was able to stop working full time a few years ago before the pandemic. And then during the pandemic, I had more time, obviously, with stay at home more. And I just started doing different things and learning different things. But then I just started YouTube this year. So that's basically my story for that and why Genshin. So that's that. Yeah, so I mentioned before I live in Canada. I'm not going to say where, but I live in Canada. And yeah, I don't know if you guys have any other questions about me, or about Fire, or about why I chose Genshin Impact. But regardless, my channel is called Fire Gaming Project because I do plan to bring in other games. So speaking on the gaming side, what kind of games would you like me to play, or would you suggest or recommend? You know, I mentioned this in other videos too, but no one really specifically said anything, and that's okay. There's lots of games out there. I just haven't started either because starting a game can be time consuming too, but I'm willing to do it for this channel and for my own enjoyment too, right? Because as I said, I'm starting to play less and less of Genshin, but I'm still going to play daily, and post videos daily, but then I want to post videos about other games as well. Yes, I want to bring in different elements for the videos that I do post for Genshin as well. As you've noticed, I do reviews of characters, weapons, pre-analysis, and then reviews after they're launched. Now, I may not have every single character or weapon. I mean, I do collect the characters now, but I'm not sure I'm going to continue collecting all of them moving forward. And definitely I don't have all the weapons, so whenever that's the case, I can only do an analysis based on other people who have pulled it and have and then summarize all the videos I've watched and talk about it that way. Um, in addition, what else? So characters, I won't be doing like major damage tests or comparisons like that. However, I do talk about the characters that I do have and how I use them and my recommendations. So that's how I'm doing the channel, of course. And then in terms of theory and storyline and stuff like that, I do bring up those. I also talk about events and stuff. I had a bunch of videos about the anniversary that had just finished, right? I talk about a variety of those kind of topics too. I have my theory videos about rerun banners, etc. So yeah, check out all that as well, and that those will continue. Um, yeah, I mean, I definitely have other things that I could talk about. So if you guys have suggestions for my videos and my channels moving forward, please feel free to leave those in the comments as well. Um, Other than that, I just wanted to really um, kind of share this because it is my birthday actually. So I do honestly wanted to like share something more about myself as well. I don't want to divulge too much, but I'm definitely happy to like answer questions. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions or comments. But basically, yeah. The other strategy. Oh, sorry. This is where I was talking about. So fire strategies. So you have to invest in yourself. So you actually, and when I say this, sorry, I went off on a tangent earlier, but when I say invest in yourself, I mean you have to invest and be willing to invest the time, effort, and money to go and maybe learn things, to improve yourself, or change yourself, or to better your situation in some way or form. Okay, it may not be an immediate change, it may not be an immediate result, but at least if you do something and you're persevere or persistent at it, eventually you'll see results or you can modify your plan. But regardless, like you should do it within your financial means and your reasonability for your timing and everything like that too, of course, right? But you do need to invest in yourself. And just as a quick
突然无
story,
视
maybe I
对
won't say
眼头
obviously what
做，
my employers were, but I will say I had an employer that I stayed with for very many years, and I was grateful for that. And then I thought that many people would retire with that employer, but then I chose not to, and I created my own retirement by leaving actually, and that was unheard of, I think. And for doing that, I actually tried and learned. And gained the knowledge necessary for a different career path. And I even went and got another full-time job in that career path. And then I did really well there too. And I did well and I achieved all my goals there. However, I also ultimately chose to leave that as well too, actually. And then after that one, that was when I just decided to just let it go and just stay, not employed, let's say. And then I chose to go back to school to get more further education of areas of interest for me. And after that, I then chose to continue looking for work in that area, but then the pandemic hit and all that stuff, and it just changed a little bit, and then I focused more just back on my own stocks and my investments instead, and then basically, and then on this year again, I started the YouTube channel, but last year I had tried out other social media platforms as well to varying degrees of success or failure. But the point is to invest in yourself and to not be afraid to try out different things, to learn
无
different
人
things, and
相
to
陪，
be a little bit
四
vulnerable,
般花鸟鱼
to
情，
ask for help, to ask
也
for
不过衬
referrals,
托我
to go to
身
your
不依
connections
不
and your
悖的背
network, to
景。
network more with more people, to figure out things, you know? And I always knew this when I was young too. The only way to know more about yourself is to actually fail at something and to try something. Because only after you try will you know if you like it or not, or if you want to continue with it or not. And I don't regret quitting that first employer to go to pursue that second employer. And even though in the second employer I ended up quitting it too, but I don't regret that at all. I also don't think that it was a waste of time at all for me to study and relearn whatever I need to relearn for that second career because it helped me get that second job, and I was okay with that. And it wasn't even about the money at that point already, because at that point I was able to retire. So then the money was just a bonus, and the money because if you can open yourself up to be more vulnerable, in some cases to take a lower pay for a better opportunity or a new opportunity, that may be something. Or some cases, some people like they travel to another city or another country or another location, and they may take either a pay cut or a pay raise, but that's also an opportunity and a challenge. And the benefit of being free to make these decisions and to take these chances and challenges is there, because if you are able to retire earlier, you can take these risks versus when you're older, then you may not be willing to take these risks. Now, I have to say, I personally am single, therefore I am able to be more free and mobile as well, and take a little more risk in these areas. So anyway, I know that this may be a kind of more of an adult topic, definitely. So I know that based on the Google Analytics, I do have a lot of viewers who are in the teenage years. So this will not apply to you guys, unfortunately. But maybe it's something for you to think about when you get older. But definitely for those of you who are adults, who
俯视
are
景色，
maybe
百千
employed
年依
or
旧，
maybe looking for work,
仍是在
etc.
世，
Like this
却
may
如白
apply
露里
because you
泡影，
may rethink your
虚无。
situation or may or may not, right? You know, and that's okay. I'm not here to convert anybody. I'm just here to share my experience and to talk about my journey through YouTube as well, right? So that's basically what it was. So anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, and I'm again not here to preach anybody, but I'm happy to answer questions and to even go maybe even more in depth about certain concepts or topics that I talked about. Yeah, so definitely, please feel free to leave me comments, and hopefully you like this video. It's definitely different than other videos, so I will put that out there. I said that in the beginning too. It's just Genshin is in the background. I'm just like basically wandering around really. I already played for the day. I already did my resin spend. I already did my commissions and everything like that. So there's really not much more to show on today's video if I was to do it anyway. And I did a bunch of character reviews already recently, so I don't want to just keep doing only character reviews every single day, so I'm breaking it up. I'll still do character reviews, but I don't want to do them like every day, back to back to back. You know what I mean? So yeah, anyway, I will leave it here. Thank you guys. If you guys watched this to the end, thank you guys. And thank you guys for subscribing, liking my videos, commenting, and interacting with me and asking me questions. And please do check out my other videos as well. I will continue to post videos on Genshin Impact on a daily basis. I'm trying to figure out my next game. That's why I haven't started yet, because it's a commitment as well. Maybe one option that I've considered, speaking on the gaming side, is maybe I will play some of the demos that are out already on the Play Store. I'm on PlayStation 5, so there is a Scarlet Nexus demo and there's a Tales of Arise demo. So maybe I'll do the demos because they have a basically a
陶然无
predetermined
事，
end, right?
对
They
宴
won't
枯
be
坐。
that long. That's why probably like a few hours, right? I won't play a few hours back to back. I'll probably break them into parts, and that could be several videos. So maybe I'll do that if you guys are interested. And then we'll see maybe if they're really fun games, which I think that they are. They're supposed to be really good. I could either buy the game and then continue doing videos on those games, or I can try completely different games, you know, and we'll go from there. So anyway, I won't keep this any more longer. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.